the Plasmatox!
The battle for the Plasmatox takes to the skies with Joe and Cobra Air Commandos, soaring gliders that can fly up to 30 feet.
I've got the Plasmatox! Cobra!
Hey, welcome to Half the Battle. Today, let's fly the unfriendly skies as we take a look at a Cobra hang glider specialist. Well, I should say specialist, really. Meet the Night Vulture. This figure was released in 1991 with all original body parts. It's a nice sculpt with... Okay, you know what? Screw this! I am sick of perfectly fine toys being ruined because they have neon colors on them. And this is a good figure underneath, minus the orange. No question about that. Now, I know there are sometimes good reasons to wear bright orange, but this isn't one of those cases, and I'll explain why when we get to the character. You know, reviewers, well, movie and video game reviewers mostly, often get told stuff like, "I'd like to see you try," or "let's see you do better," when they critique something. Okay then, I will do better than Hasbro. Here, boom. An ugly figure becomes an instant classic. I'd even argue my paint job makes the figure more colorful in a way. The dark purple jumps out at you here, while on the real version it's far less noticeable. But anyway, you're here for a review of the actual toy, not what I'd want it to be. There is some very nice detailing on this figure. From the mesh, grenades and knives on the orange parts, to the snakeskin-like patterns on the gloves and boots. The boots especially look nice. He's also got a pair of nunchucks molded onto his leg, which leads me to another observation. This guy could easily be mistaken for another Snake Eyes sculpt. No, really? The whole look of the figure screams Snake Eyes to me, especially if you go back to my custom black version. It's helped that he has no Cobra logo on him anywhere. He came with just one accessory, a crossbow molded in purple. Once again, a weapon you'd more associate with a ninja than this guy. Well, I say he came with just one accessory, but depending on how you look at it, he came with another one, a really big one. It's a hang glider that really flies. I almost would consider this an accessory, considering the toy was carded, not in a box. Night Vulture was part of the Air Commando subline, who all got gliders like that. And I have to say, the colors look good. It's also a pretty fun toy for kids, and seems to be kinder to action figures that ride it, since I've never seen a Night Vulture toy that's been damaged significantly. Kinda cool considering you throw it in the air a lot. And that was the only figure Night Vulture got in the original line. Now, there was a second figure made in 2016, but it was exclusive to that year's G.I.Joe convention. I don't have it, so I can't really comment on it. Except to say the orange is still there. I mean, come on. They had the chance to improve the color scheme, and instead they stuck with the original orange. Talk about a missed opportunity. Overall, the glider is neat for kids, and this could have been an awesome toy, but well, I really can't forgive the neon orange. That brings us to the character, and since I couldn't find this guy in the cartoons or comics, that just leaves us with the file card. And here is where some things make more sense, and others far, far less. Night Vultures are covert insertion and recon specialists. So a crossbow would be a logical weapon, as it's silent. On the other hand, these guys are covert. They don't want to draw attention to themselves. They don't want to be seen. So why the neon orange? If your goal is to silently glide into enemy territory without being noticed, you shouldn't be wearing the visual equivalent of a rave party. Like I mentioned before, sometimes bright colors make sense, like on Cutter, for example, who wears an orange life preserver, a thing you'd want to be noticed. But here it's just really, really stupid. Anyway, the file card talks about their training, namely that they don't get any. The candidates, and I feel the word candidate should be in quotation marks here, are dropped from a plane 5 miles from land over shark-infested waters. Whoever makes it back is a Night Vulture and gets to keep the personal possessions of whoever didn't make it. Man, getting higher up in Cobra, no pun intended, must be harsh. I think I'd settle for going back to being a latrine viper. I mean, they do get pushed out of planes less. The only other thing of note is that these guys are more used for recon than insertion, since they are smart enough to not insert themselves if a situation looks too dangerous. Yeah, given their aversion to danger, I don't really think any of these guys actually volunteered for the job. They probably were latrine vipers that dropped a cherry bomb down the toilet just before Destro sat down or something. And that was the Night Vulture, a toy that had greatness ripped away from it thanks to the orange. Seriously, get some paint and fix that if you get this toy. And characters that wish they had another job. Now, I do like to bitch about bright colors, but that's not to say I hate them in every case. Next review, why don't I take a look at a toy that's bright orange, and yet it's one that I still like? Well, see you next time, everybody, and hey, why not like, share, and subscribe if that's your thing?
You're all washed up, Cobra! I must have the plasmatox!
The battle for the Plasmatox takes to the skies with Joe and Cobra Air Commandos, soaring gliders that can fly up to 30 feet.
I've got the plasmatox! Cobra!
But here comes the G.I.Joe attack cruiser. It fires two